Hello guys and welcome to round number 12 of this F1 2017 Championship. We are back for the German Grand Prix, hitting the mid-season point of the season, and this is the home race of many drivers on the grid. Sebastian Vettel and Nico Rosberg being the two that could potentially win this race. So I'm sure they will be hoping to impress the fans as we wait for qualifying to get underway. Sebastian Vettel on 2 pole positions in a row. Can he make it through here today in front of his home fans? I'm sure the fans will love that. And after a poor run of performances, can he get back in this championship with a strong finish in the race? We'll have to find out tomorrow, but first, let's look at the qualifying results. So it was Sebastian Vettel taking pole position once again, 3rd time in a row he has done that, 3/10 of a second ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Nico Rosberg lining up behind his teammate. Daniel Ricciardo putting in an impressive performance to start 4th. Rubens Barrichello starts in 5th, the only person starting a soft tyre in the top 10. Valtteri Bottas lines up in 6th, Max Verstappen having a torrent time in that Red Bull. Once again, a disappointing result in qualifying for the Red Bull team. Felipe Massa lines up in 8th place with Fernando Alonso in 9th, and Carlos Sainz rounds out the top 10. So here we are in Germany. It is race day. Looking like there isn't going to be any rain, unfortunately, but I'm sure it's going to be a thrilling race round this circuit. We've had some great races here in the past, and with Sebastian Vettel starting on pole, I think we know who the fans will be rooting for to take the win here today. So Sebastian Vettel taking his 3rd pole position in a row. He is on fantastic form, but can he convert it to only his 2nd race win this season? Valtteri Bottas also putting in an impressive performance, starting in 6th position. Williams having some very impressive results at a few races. Can Bottas deliver a surprise result here in Germany today? And of course we can't forget about Pascal Wehrlein. Despite starting at the back, it is his home Grand Prix too. Can he get his first points for Manor Racing as they come round the final corner to start the race? It's race time. So here we go. We have 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. And Sebastian Vettel gets a good launch off from pole position. Daniel Ricciardo starting in 4th gets a fantastic launch and looks like he's going to challenge for 2nd place, heading down to turn 1. He's spun the car, made contact with, I think that was Rosberg. We're going to have to get a replay of that. But Daniel Ricciardo straight into last place from 4th, on board with Barrichello. With the replay camera here, you can see Ricciardo on the inside just takes a very tight line and hits the back of, it was actually Hamilton. Hamilton losing a lot of momentum, but disappointing for Daniel Ricciardo. On board of him now. He gets a fantastic launch, trying to challenge the 2 Mercedes cars, and it was just too tight an apex, and he is going to go plummeting down to last place. Disappointing for the Australian, but can he get back in this race? He's going to have to work hard to score some points here today. Taking another look at the start then, just to see what happened to everyone else. Sebastian Vettel, as we saw, getting a decent getaway. Hamilton and Rosberg pretty equal offline. Barrichello, fairly average as well, actually gets overtaken by Bottas into turn 1. But I think Barrichello carries the speed around the outside at turn 1. I think he's actually side by side with Bottas heading down towards turn 2. Who's going to get 4th place here? Will it be Bottas or will it be Barrichello? Barrichello trying to hold it around the outside, trying to get a good run onto the straight, and Barrichello has taken 4th position. So after that turn 1 incident, it is Sebastian Vettel leading from Rosberg, from Hamilton, from Barrichello, from the 2 Williams cars, and Max Verstappen. Barrichello looking eager to get past that Mercedes car, but he may have to wait an extra lap, although Hamilton going very slowly. Maybe he picks up some damage at that turn 1 incident. We'll have to see what happens to him in the race. As we now go back to the live feed, the 2 Mercedes battling out for 2nd position. They don't seem to be working together to try and catch Sebastian Vettel. You can see him off in the distance. Hamilton now making a move up the inside of Nico Rosberg into the hairpin. Who's going to get the better exit? I think it's going to be Hamilton, but now Rosberg under pressure from Barrichello down the 2nd straight. Is Rosberg? Yes, he is on the outside. Barrichello now going to be inside at the kink, and he takes 3rd position. Rosberg dropping 2 positions in a couple corners there. Barrichello loses braking point and loses position to both Rosberg and Bottas. Back down to 5th place for him. Completely bottles that, but can he catch on to the back of Bottas once again? He can't fall too far behind these guys, otherwise he will lose out a lot of positions. It looks like he's able to stay with Bottas. Obviously these two are going to fight, but who is going to get out on top? Will Hamilton actually pull away and try and catch Sebastian Vettel? Now Bottas under pressure from Barrichello, and Barrichello, fantastic move, forcing his way through on the Williams. Now Rosberg should be worried after that move. Barrichello proving he's not going to mess about with the overtakes, and now coming down the straight on lap number 3. Barrichello with the DRS and the slipstream. This should be an easy pass for the Ferrari car in the slipstream. He's going to go to the inside, and that's a very simple move for the Brazilian. Back up into 3rd place for him. Now Hamilton does seem to be really struggling, not having the pace of his teammate or Barrichello. So Hamilton may lose position to Barrichello in the next few laps. Although on the same lap, in the stadium section, we've seen Barrichello make a move here before on the previous lap. Will he make a move, or maybe even a similar move on Hamilton? He doesn't go up the inside there. What about into the final couple corners? Does he go up the inside into the penultimate corner? No, he does not. Gets the better run though, up the inside into the final corner. There's a little bit of contact, but the Ferrari forces his way up into second place, and it's a Ferrari 1-2. Fantastic overtaking from Barrichello there. But now looking at the race leader, Sebastian Vettel, looks like he's going to come into the pit at the end of, I think that's lap number 5. What tyres is he going to go on? Will he go for the 2-stop or the 3-stop? You can see his teammate in the background is going to take the lead of the race, obviously on a different strategy. But Vettel comes into the pit and he's going to fit another set of super softs. So he's going for the 3-stop strategy. Very aggressive. However, I think Vettel may be able to make this work, as he seems very, very quick and very comfortable round this track. And as he exits onto the track, is he going to get ahead of the Force India? And I think that's a McLaren. He's going to get out in between them, so that's going to cost him a heap of time. That is Sergio Perez, I think it was, and Jenson Button. So Sebastian Vettel really needs to get past him immediately. He cannot get held up at all, especially with his teammate on the soft tyre. He needs to get a move on now. Will he make a move down the straight? I'm sure he will, with the fresh tyres. Inside line for the hairpin, and that should be a very simple move for the German. Clipping the apex nicely, and he is back up into a provisional P2. And now he needs to put in some very decent laps and really use up those super soft tyres to catch his teammate, who we are looking at right now, and I think he's going to come into the pit. Yes, he does. The second Ferrari is in for his first stop, and I'm pretty sure he's going for the 2 stops. We expect to see either the soft tyre or the medium tyre. We'll have to keep an eye out for Sebastian Vettel. Has Barrichello done enough to jump his teammate? Medium tyres for the Brazilian, and I don't see Sebastian Vettel in the background, I don't think. Coming out of the pit, there is, I think that's Sergio Perez, staying out on the medium tyre, but I think Barrichello has jumped his teammate. I don't see Sebastian Vettel anywhere near Barrichello, so Barrichello making the right call and is leading this race, although he's coming onto the back of, I think that's Sergio Perez, on the medium tyre, and obviously he's going to be going slow at this stage, and Barrichello going up the inside in the stadium section like he did with Bottas. Fantastic shot there from the cameraman there, but you've got to remember, with the 2 Ferraris on different strategies, this will all be decided in the final few laps. They will come together once again, and I think this is the end of Sebastian Vettel's second stint. He's on the super soft tyres, and he's going to come into the pit for a second stop, and we're pretty sure he is going to fit the soft tyres. Obviously sticking with that 3-stop, I don't think he'll convert now, but as he comes into his pit box, what tyres is he going to fit on? He's going to fit on the soft tyres. Going with that aggressive strategy still, and it may work out for him if he can get some very decent laps and maybe some clear air. He can't lose time getting stuck in traffic, so he needs some clear air just to put in some very quick laps and hopefully close up to Barrichello in the final few laps. And as we come on to lap number 19, on board with the leader, just over halfway point of this race, Barrichello out in front, looking quite comfortable on those medium tyres, with Sebastian Vettel in second and Valtteri Bottas actually ahead of both Mercedes in third position. So on the podium once again, Sebastian Vettel will be closing that gap on those soft tyres, while Barrichello out in front on the mediums. Sebastian Vettel will be closing the gap to Barrichello on the soft tyres, but Barrichello has just got to hold on to these tyres and pit for soft tyres nearing the end. But a couple laps later we see Sebastian Vettel coming through the stadium section. Is this for his third and final pit stop? It should be on to the medium tyres for him. He does come into the pit, and it should be the medium tyres. I don't think he'll be able to stretch the softs to the end, especially if he wants to push and try and catch his teammate. Into the pit he goes, and keeping an eye on the pit crew. What tyres are they going to put on that Ferrari? It is the medium tyre, so he will be going to the end on that set, and hopefully we will see a fight between the 2 Ferrari cars for this race win. The Mercedes cars just seem out of it. They don't have the pace. We haven't seen them since lap 3. So they just have been falling back. They do not have the pace to stay with the Ferraris this race. But coming on to lap number 22, we see Pascal Wehrlein coming down the main straight at his home Grand Prix. He's running well, but does he have a problem heading down to the hairpin? Let's listen to his engine. And yeah, he pulls off on the exit, and that is a complete shutdown for the car. That's so disappointing for him at his home Grand Prix to not even finish the race. On board of Barrichello, the race leader now on lap number 24, making a very late call into the pit for his final stop, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the soft tyres for that Ferrari car, and he'll be going to the end. But this is where it's going to get interesting. Where is Sebastian Vettel while this pit stop was taking place. On go the soft tyres for that Ferrari, and where is Sebastian Vettel? We'll have to keep an eye out on the left as he exits the pit. The limiter is off, and where is Sebastian Vettel? Looking to the left, there he goes. He takes the lead of the race on his medium tyres. So Barrichello on the faster tyres, but Sebastian Vettel has track position. This is going to be a very interesting fight to the end of the race. Just 10 laps to go. Who is going to win this race? We see the two Ferraris chasing each other down, or Barrichello chasing Sebastian Vettel down. Can Vettel pull another gap? Can he get out of DRS? That would be very key for him to win this race. He cannot let Barrichello battle him. Obviously, Barrichello will have the tyre advantage, so Vettel needs to pull a gap on his teammate. But on the next lap, Sebastian Vettel looks like he's going to catch some traffic, which will not help him at all. A Renault and a Sauber, and this is really going to hinder his pace. You can see, stuck behind, I think that is Jolyon Palmer, and this will help Barrichello just close up to him despite having slipstream DRS down the straight. That will hinder Sebastian Vettel's pace, and he has to get past the Sauber before he gets clear air, so even more trouble for him ahead. If Barrichello can get through this traffic quickly, he'll be right on the back of his teammate with the tyre advantage. Sebastian Vettel looks like he has the overall pace, but could the traffic cost him dearly this race? Vettel needs clear air to increase the gap, and Vettel really needs his teammate to get stuck behind this traffic just like he is. That is Felipe Nasr ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Will he get out of the way? Heading to the stadium section, very difficult place to let someone through, and Nasr making him go on the outside, which is really going to anger Vettel. You can see Barrichello in the background getting past the Renault round the outside of the stadium section. So Barrichello not having the easiest time either. These two Ferrari guys really having to battle through the field despite it being blue flag conditions. And now that Vettel has clear air, he should be able to pull away from his teammate. Barrichello still needs to get past the Sauber, and I think he's going to do that down the straight. Yes, he is. And it looks like Barrichello has closed up ever so slightly, but still not within DRS range or slipstream, so he's really going to have to push to try and catch his teammate still, unless there's more traffic up ahead. Round the final corner comes Sebastian Vettel, and that's exactly what has happened. That is Kevin Magnussen this time, the second Renault, ahead of Sebastian Vettel, coming around turn 1, and there's contact between the two cars. Sebastian Vettel losing the back end, and Barrichello takes the lead of the race, and Sebastian Vettel is going to be screaming in his crash helmet. Sebastian Vettel has lost the lead of this race thanks to a lapped car. Let's get a replay on board of Vettel now, and Vettel goes for the apex, and Magnussen just doesn't move at all. Barrichello takes the lead of the race. What did Barrichello see of this incident? He's getting past Marcus Ericsson. He goes around the outside, but he comes around the corner and just sees Sebastian Vettel fishtailing on the exit, and I'm sure he'll happily take first position there. That is quite a controversial way for Barrichello to take the lead of the race. He's still behind Kevin Magnussen. Will Magnussen now cause the same pain for Barrichello? Sebastian Vettel has fallen back ever so slightly with the slower tyres. I don't think he's going to be able to close that gap. He needs Barrichello to get stuck behind Magnussen. Will there be a repeat between the Ferrari and the Renault heading down towards turn 1, and Barrichello has got past Magnussen? I'm sure after this race there'll be strong words between Sebastian Vettel and Kevin Magnussen, but it looks like Vettel has closed the gap and is behind Barrichello, so it looks like they will have a battle to the end. Vettel may have not lost this race just yet. He will have slipstream and DRS. It looks like he's going to go on the outside down the straight. They're side by side. Let's head down towards the hairpin. Vettel will have the inside line. Who will get out in front? And Vettel has actually overtaken his teammate Barrichello with the outside line. Can he hold it on the outside? He's going to try it. Can he carry the speed? Sebastian Vettel making contact. That's still side by side on the exit. Can Barrichello take him on the outside at the kink, carrying as much speed as possible? That's still side by side in the braking zone towards turn 9. Can Vettel hold it on the outside? He has to concede the position to his teammate. Barrichello retakes the lead of the German Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel, although looking like he has the pace, can he actually make a move on his teammate and make it stick? Magnussen on the back of Vettel and just seems to be winding him up in his mirrors. But Vettel is running out of time to make this move stick as they come on to the final lap. Barrichello leads, Sebastian Vettel in second, but who is going to lead at the end of this lap? Vettel right behind his teammate. He will have one final chance down the straight. Can he make it stick this time? He will have DRS. He will have the slipstream. Outside line down the straight. He will have the inside line for the hairpin unless he makes the move stick early, which he has done, taking a very defensive line. Vettel defending the inside as Barrichello tries to super on the outside once again. Is he going to carry the speed? Yes, he is. Their side by side is identical to the previous lap, and I think Vettel is going to lose this once again. Vettel with the inside line at the kink. And now Barrichello being to the line for turn number 8. Vettel having to brake early, and once again it's identical to the previous lap. Vettel had one final chance to take this race win, but he has lost it. Vettel had one final chance to make that move stick, but it looks like Magnussen is going to cost him his race win at his home race. Barrichello leading through the stadium section, and it's all going to calm down for the final couple laps unless Vettel makes a very optimistic dive into the final couple corners. It is going to be Rubens Barrichello that wins the German Grand Prix. Round the final corner he comes, and he is going to win the German Grand Prix from Sebastian Vettel. We put up a great fight, but Magnussen definitely cost Sebastian Vettel that race win there. The Ferraris in another league this weekend. Absolutely nowhere to be seen were the Mercedes cars. Looking at the race results then, as we saw, Barrichello takes the win 3 tenths ahead of his teammate Sebastian Vettel. Lewis Hamilton was actually 2.5 seconds behind, but just didn't have the pace to challenge the Ferrari cars at all. Valtteri Bottas comes home 10 seconds behind in 4th position. Another fantastic result for the Williams drivers, with Felipe Massa finishing in 6th and Daniel Ricciardo finishing in 5th. A brilliant recovery drive considering what happened at turn 1. Nico Rosberg at its home race, a disappointing 7th position in that Mercedes car. Sergio Perez and Nico Hülkenberg make it a double points finish for Force India. 8th and 10th place for him. Hülkenberg scoring points at his home race, which I'm sure he'll be happy with Jenson Button taking 9th place and 2 points for McLaren Honda. Now looking at the Drivers' Championship, Barrichello after that win 3 points ahead of Nico Rosberg leads the World Drivers' Championship heading towards Belgium. Hamilton remains 3rd on 165 points, with Sebastian Vettel on 143 points remains 4th. He needs a strong finish to get back in this championship, and he needs it very quickly. Next come the 2 Red Bull cars, with Ricciardo and Verstappen taking up 5th and 6th. Valtteri Bottas having a fantastic season, 85 points to his name. Sergio Perez sits 8th with 62 points, Felipe Massa sits 9th with 52 points, and Fernando Alonso holding on to that top 10 spot with 28 points for McLaren Honda. Finally, looking at the Constructors' Championship, and there is no change whatsoever, although Ferrari with a 1-2 finish, closing the gap to Mercedes. So could Ferrari take a challenge for the Constructors in the final few races? Red Bull are absolutely nowhere, sitting in 3rd, 100 points behind Ferrari and 100 points ahead of Williams. Williams also a team that seemed to be in no man's land, 137 points, once again 100 points behind Red Bull, but a solid points gap to Force India, who sit 5th. McLaren Honda continue to pick up consistent points and sit 6th, with Toro Rosso in 7th, battling Haas for that 7th place spot. Haas just 1 point behind, and Manor, Renault and Sauber still pointless this season. Who will be first in those bottom 3 teams to score points? Well guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you did enjoy, remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new in here. Thank you guys for watching, and see ya.